finally, option number 3, Trump can just walk away.
Hey guys, I want you to watch this video. It's a very interesting video on the Russian-Ukraine war. She spoke quite a bit already. I'm trying to get it back a little.
Now that I use Monday service, AI makes...
Okay, the Dog Show, your host, Joe Vinny. Subscribe, like, follow my channel. Let's watch this video, see if you like it. Please like and subscribe.
All his goals are met. And this is clearly frustrating Trump. He's used to bullying US allies into trade deals and negotiations. But this is a whole different ballgame. It's a game of patience and tact. And Trump is clearly out of depth. So where does that leave the peace talks? Are they effectively over? Well, not yet. Nothing is ever over with Trump. He can call Ukraine's President Zelensky a dictator. He can scold him in the Oval Office, and then days later, he can sign a minerals deal with the same Zelensky. That is how Donald Trump operates. So this public spat does not signal the end of talks, but it does reveal how challenging it is. And speaking of Zelensky, he's got a new proposal, a trilateral summit between Trump, Putin, and himself. The Kremlin says it is possible, but only after some sort of breakthrough.
Such a meeting should become an outcome of specific arrangements between the two delegations along various directions. In this respect, there are no changes in our stance.
Now, this is significant because Russia has called Zelensky a Nazi. They have questioned his legitimacy as president.
Why would they do that? Oh, I guess because our country overthrew the Ukrainian president in 2014 and installed Zelensky, who started jailing all his pastors, his nuns, his priests, and attacked the two Russian provinces that spoke primarily 99% Russian, started jailing those people. He was like a Nazi. He had a secret police putting him in secret prisons. He was having NATO expand in his country. He was having the U.S. biolabs there. He was anything but neutral. His country was the third most corrupt country in the world. NATO's not taking him. So Putin is like, these are our demands, and listen to them soon. Watch, they're interesting.
Yet they're open to a summit. Either the Russians are bluffing, or they see a window to fulfill their goals. In fact, Russia is preparing a charter of demands, a sort of template for a peace deal. They haven't officially published it yet, but here's what reports suggest. Demand number 1, Ukraine remains neutral. Number 2, written guarantees that NATO will not expand eastwards. Number 3, lifting some of the sanctions on Russia. Number 4, unfreezing Russian assets abroad. And finally, number 5, protection for Russian-speaking people in Ukraine's east.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Protection for Russian-speaking people in Ukraine. Why would he include that? Because Zelensky was persecuting them. I think these are totally legitimate demands for the war. The war would have been over in 3 weeks if it wasn't for Biden administration sending Boris Johnson over there to Istanbul, Turkey after 3 weeks. Putin was already withdrawing and had to rip up the peace agreement. So Zelensky, it took two to tango, and he pretty much got what he deserved. He wrecked his country. He's killed millions of people dead because Zelensky's, want to expand to NATO, but he was being controlled by a bad part of our government. Trump knows that, so he needs to be a little more patient with this process, but let's continue to watch. This is interesting.
It doesn't mention Crimea or Russian-occupied lands, maybe because Putin thinks that those are done deals, or maybe he will include them later on. Either way, this is a good deal. They largely align with Putin's initial goals. But will Zelensky accept it? Russian and Ukrainian officials are expected to meet again soon. Perhaps that meeting will give us some clues. And a lot will depend on Donald Trump, of course. He has 3 options here. 1, side with Ukraine and put pressure on Putin. Reports say that he is mulling sanctions, specifically on Russia's banking and oil sectors. It is possible, but it's unlikely to work. The US already has some 7,000 sanctions on Russia. Clearly, that has not moved the needle. So more sanctions may not help. Then we come to option number 2, put pressure on Ukraine. Trump can force Zelensky to accept Russia's demands. Yes, Europe will resist, But the US has enough leverage here. And finally, option number 3, Trump can just walk away. This is looking increasingly likely now. Trump has already triggered a global tariff war. His plate is full with trade negotiations.
I don't know about a tariff war, where it's going reciprocity, equal trade between countries. So she's a little biased against Trump, but I like the second option: put pressure on Zelensky or walk away and let them solve it themselves. Screw Europe. They're anti-free speech. They have their borders being invaded. They put 12,000 people in London in prison and jail in prison for posting online. They want their country back from Muslims and they want their borders back. We'll continue.
Does he have the bandwidth to keep mediating here? At one point, he may just lose interest. And if he does, Putin will be ready to capitalize. And that is basically the bottom line here. Russia will only end the war on its terms. Trump can mediate, Trump can mock and threaten all he wants, but Putin has all the cards.
Sad but true. I'll pray for peace, Lord. I pray for peace in Ukraine and Russia. I'm going to say a quick prayer for all the listeners. Bless them, draw them close to yourselves, and help them with their struggles. Make their life easier. If you don't, who will? I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe, follow. God bless. Take care. Thank you.